Hey guys, and welcome to my first proper video for update 19, The War Within. I know it says it in the title, but I'm going to say it again, spoilers ahead. I'm sure you're aware after you complete the quest we have a new resource in the game, which is Kuva. So let's take a quick look at what you need it for, how you get it, and the mechanics behind it. Well, there are two reasons to need this new resource right now. Firstly is the brand new weapons, the Zarb, the Twin Roga, the Orvius at the very least, require this new resource in building components. It's very likely that the one from the dojo, the polearm, will also need it, because it does need it in its research. To be honest, it's likely that more are going to need it in the future as well. The second reason is the brand new system in the game, the Riven mods. When you completed the quest, you gained a rifle Riven mod, which required unlocking. Once it was unlocked, you had the random stats that were on the mod, but you could spend Kuva to cycle it, meaning that you had to do the challenge on it again for another roll at the stats. Each roll does go up as well. First one is 900 Kuva, then 1000, and then 1300. So you need more and more to get each time. Right now, the only way to get more Riven mods is in the Sortie reward table. So how do you get the resource in the first place? Well, you've got to go to the Hard Grenade tile sets, Uranus, Ceres, or the new Kuva Fortress. There you will have a 30% chance for the Kuva Harvester and the Guardians to spawn, gathering Kuva to try and restore the remaining Queen to power. Now the fight is actually relatively simple once you've worked out the mechanics, but not a lot of people seem to have got to do that yet, and that's why I've done the video. When you come up against the Harvester, don't try and damage it, it's a waste of time, you can't damage it at all. Instead, deal with the Kuva Guardians and the Jesters that spawn, as well as the small dudes as soon as possible. Use your 5 to pop out of your frame, go into Transference, hit E to stun the Guardian, do your Void Dash with Control Space, go through them, you disarm them, make them vulnerable. If you do this well, you can dash through them, press 5 to return to your frame, which will now be wherever you hit 5. Then you can kill them basically before they actually even manage to get up off the floor. But the important thing to note is that these guys do not directly influence the Harvester, they purely guard it. Although it does make it easier to deal with the next stage if they're dead, because they do a lot of damage. While you're dealing with the Guardians, keep an eye on the Extractor. If one of the tendrils on the bottom starts pointing a direction and sucking up, keep an eye out for the blood floating towards it. The tendril gives you a pretty good idea of the direction the blood is coming from, so it's a good idea to take note of that. If the blood reaches the Extractor, it will count towards one of the 8. Do not let it hit 8, because the Harvester will disappear and you don't get anything from it. To stop the blood, go back into Transference, do your Void Jump at the blood, try and hit it directly. This will stop the blood and it will also damage the Extractor. Do this enough times and you will destroy the Extractor. It's as simple as that really. Once you've got the mechanics sorted, you will be able to do this pretty easily. It does spawn in sorties as well, so this does become super difficult at that point. Once you activate Transference, your frame's abilities turn off. So once you go back into your frame, all your defensive abilities are turned off now, and you'll probably get one shot by sortie level enemies. I've done a ton of testing as well. Right now the best strategy seems to be that you have a group of 4, each of you run individual missions and invite people if you have found the Kuva before the objective is complete. You are still able to invite to the game, provided that objective isn't complete, so even if you found the Kuva, that is really super useful. In addition to that, you do not get more Kuva based on the amount of charges the Extractor has when you blow it up. Both 0 out of 8 and 6 out of 8 gave a little over 600 each time. Basically, the only reason to stay in longer is if you want to farm the little guys for the bullet jump mod, since they drop like crazy, or if you're trying to farm parts for the glaive off of the Guardians and the Jesters. The Kuva, because it's a resource, is also affected by resource amount boosters and the Kavat's Charm. So farming it like other resources is viable, although for this you basically have that bit of RNG due to spawn chance, plus you can't use loot enhancing abilities like Desecrate. So far, I've not actually had that much problem with farming Kuva. There's a few bugs related to it that's been passed on, to be included in the next hotfix. And the 30%, I mean, it seems a little bit trolly, but it's still RNG based as to when it's going to spawn. 30% chance it will, but it's a 70% chance it won't. The idea behind the percentage, as far as I understand, is that you basically just so you can't roll and roll and roll again on your Riven mods. So with that in mind, the 30% actually isn't horrendous, since they want to cut down on the amount of rolling that we do in these mods, but 30% is still pretty high, and it seemed like I've re-rolled my Riven mod 4 times today already, plus I've built the glaive, so the amounts you get, they're not ridiculously bad. Maybe the percentage will go up a bit, but I wouldn't count on it, to be honest. If you've got any questions related to Kuva and its farming, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know if I've missed something, or if you've got any questions, then just ask away. I will try and answer as much as I can. As always, many thanks for watching. Feel free to smash that like button to subscribe if you like my content, and I shall see you in the next video.